Well, I do believe there's going to be an NBA return, and I think this would be a totally unnecessary, superfluous change that could be really unfair to certain teams, particularly, you mentioned them, the LA Clippers, and I'll explain why in just a moment. Now, I understand some folks will say in the age of coronavirus, in the age of a pandemic, things are just going to be unfair, and that I totally understand. But there is no need for this. This would simply be using the fact that because of coronavirus, they're all going to be in the same location to experiment with something they've been talking about doing for years. But I do want people to go back. The reason we initially started talking about should you seed the playoffs 1 through 16 was because there have been years where the 10 seed in the West, a team that misses the playoffs, would have been the 7 seed in the East. And so the idea was make sure you get the best 16 teams into the postseason. But this year, whether you seed it this way or the traditional way, it is the same 16 teams. And I would argue that while you potentially have a few more interesting first-round matchups, if the seeds hold, the second round gets worse, the third round gets markedly worse, and I think it's unfair to change the rules unnecessarily on teams midstream. I think one of the reasons, now I have been a big critic of the way the Clippers handled their regular season. However, they handled their regular season under the belief we have to go through the Lakers no matter what, and then probably the Bucks in the finals no matter what, so seeding doesn't matter so much to us. To then change the rules on them, and again, I've been a Clippers critic, but to change the rules on them to where it's like, well, actually, had you gone all out this regular season, you could be in the position the Lakers are in, where you only have to go through the Clippers or the Bucks, where you only have to go through one of the other top 3 teams in the league. It's just grossly unfair, and I don't see why it's necessary. I don't think you should change the rules, Wilds, once you're already into a season unless you are forced to. This is something the league is not forced to do. It would just be taking the opportunity to do because they're all in the same place and travel's not an issue. I don't see the need for it, Kevin.
Well, I see the need for it because, first of all, it's super fun, Nick. You never mentioned the word fun, which this is the funnest playoff format we've seen since in the history of the NBA. So if the question is, am I voting for it? I'm not only voting for it, I'm parking the cars. I'm the old lady that welcomes you into the elementary school. I'm the kid that's selling you apple cider donuts. I'm the guy checking your name, and I'm giving you the sticker, I voted sticker. I think this is a wonderful proposal, Broussard, and I'll give you one reason why they should do it, Nick. Outside of just fun. The Jordan documentary did a 6. We just saw an exhibition golf match do a 5.8. The first round of the playoffs, about 3 million people watch them. So they're in an opportunity right now to be as aggressive as possible and say, hey, we've got a unique opportunity. Let's push to get as many people and drum up as much interest in the NBA as possible.